night, we talked about evangelism. And one of the things we talked about was creativity. We talked about a cheerleader. We talked about exciting vision type of ideas. Here's an idea that we had a few years ago. It really was my wife's brainchild. And I'm going to turn it over to her, but she's got some great ideas. We're going to download them to you right now. So be excited. Look, said it. Are you excited? Hey!
Okay, this was an idea we had probably about 2 years ago, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about how and why we had it. Basically, our church, we had fallen into a habit, if you will, of bringing just our youth group anywhere. I mean, your 24 kids, your 30 kids, that was pretty much what we were bringing every year. And there wasn't a whole lot of excitement, quite frankly, around seeing other kids come to know the Lord. So as we're going on in this thing, I'm thinking, oh, Lord, how can we reach people? How can we reach people? And He gave us this idea, and it was called Buy a Seat on the Bus. So we went and talked to our pastor. And this is about how complicated it was. It was just 3 little steps. We said, Pastor, would it be okay if the church rented a bus so we could take a busload of kids to Super Bowl? Number 2, would it be okay if we asked our church people to buy a seat on the bus? So we'd like to do that Wednesday mornings, Sunday mornings, that kind of thing. And I don't know if your church is like ours, but our people do like to get behind things, particularly when they're short-lived. I mean, we're not talking about a 5-year building program. We're talking 3-4 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy to get people excited for like 3 or 4 weeks and let them see a short-term goal and help them knock it off. And then the third thing was, this was probably the easiest, is that the kids could invite their unsaved friends. So what me and my girlfriend did, Melissa, so it can be guys, it can be girls, it was hysterical. We ended up getting the whole church involved. We got 2 Super Bowl T-shirts. We put our hair in ponytails, even though my hair's not long enough. We got pom-poms. And we would come running in, and they'd say, what are you here for? And they'd say, well, we are willing to make fools of ourselves to reach people for Christ. And so that's what we did. On Sunday morning, we ran up there. We did this announcement. And it was really cute because we taught the whole – picture 600 people going, T-E-A-M. Go Heritage. That was the name of our church. And so anyway, we did this little cheer, and each week we did a separate little announcement, but the 2 cheerleaders came on, and it was sort of funny because it wasn't always us 2. We had our deacon board do it. We had 12 men up there going, T-E-A-M. It was hysterical. So every Sunday morning or Sunday night, people couldn't wait to see who we had next. Well, then one night, it was even our pastors. You know, they said, well, who's going to do the announcement this week? And then our pastors stepped forward with pom-poms. It was so funny. But the bottom line was, we ended up that first year, our goal was to sell 48 seats because that was what the school bus held. And we ended up selling 62 seats. So our youth group that night became 109 people. We actually had a junior high bus and a senior high bus, and we saw 15 to 16 kids make decisions. One of the things that we did was, and we're going to give you some materials, it's all on this disc, and on this disc you'll have the letters to your bus. It says, buy a seat on the bus from here to eternity. And the way you want to kick it off is, again, really simple. I paid my own school bus driver $20 to come park her bus in the lot at church that night. You know, she probably would have done it for nothing, but it was a little extra on her part. So she came and parked, and I said, and make sure when you park it, you take up everybody's favorite parking spaces so they're annoyed. Because, again, you want to get attention, you know. So we parked at kitty corner and took up everybody's parking spaces. So people were like, what's going on? Why is my parking space gone? And then that's when we kicked it off with the announcements and stuff like that. So you'll find the letters in there. We also have bulletin inserts. We put them in the bulletins on Sunday. And we asked people that they could sign up for like 1 or 2 or 3 things. One was, would you like to buy a seat on the bus? Or would you like to do follow-up? Because, again, you got to be ahead of this thing, thinking if people may accept Christ, we want to have people. You know, we had like 14 people sign up for that. So that was awesome. And we got them their material ahead of time, so then they had like a month to look it over so nobody could say, well, I didn't have time. And so that went well. And what else was on here was, we put in a letter here, like a letter to parents. Obviously, if you're going to bring visitors, they got to know details about where you're taking my kid, what time they're going to be back, how much money do they need. So anything that you would need to do is on this CD that Pete did for you. And you might just have to put your church name on there or something like that. And that was really about it. It just went really good. I want to encourage you to do it. The first year we did it, just our church did it. Last year, I think we had 4 other churches in our area do it. I got to tell you, there's nothing more exciting than being there on Super Bowl night and watching buses come up. And the whole thing is, I just want to tell you, you got to be a little bit flexible with this because you're stepping out in faith. You don't know. You don't really know until everybody shows up that night. exactly who came. Now, you should have a pretty good handle on it. Like, well, we sold 48 seats, and we know Cindy invited 2 of her friends, and you invited 7 of yours from band. But you got to be a little bit flexible, because that night, you have like 62 seats or whatever. Maybe you have 63 show up or something like that. But that's a praise. I mean, that's a good thing. So just ask the Lord if He wouldn't just give you a desire to reach kids in your town. It's just an awesome idea to see kids come to know Christ.
One other idea, too. Olympian leaders, this idea, I mean, it's not a teen idea. You could do the same concept for an Olympian event in your area. Sell the vision for an event that you're doing. Have people buy the seats on the bus and get people under there in the gospel. One thing we did, too, was we had a photographer from our church taking digital pictures. He was there at registration, so when the kids were arriving that Friday night, he's taking pictures as they're getting on the bus. He went to the Super Bowl with the church. So all night long in the bowling alleys, at the games, and all over, he's taking pictures. He's taking pictures of people filling out decision slips and stuff. So then Sunday morning in the church, guess what? PowerPoint up on the slide, results, immediate fruit. People say, right? Cheerleading, we need that, right?